It's time to think about financial aid for the next semester. We have what you need to know after a series of recent problems.
There may be some good news in the fight to prevent drug overdose deaths in the U.S. We've got the latest on the fentanyl crisis.
A Denton restaurant is preparing to help people who may not have been able to get a Thanksgiving meal. We'll show you their generous idea.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Cleopatra Nabionga.
And I'm Andy Scott. This year's free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, is now open to all students, but many of them and their parents are concerned after last year's messy rollout of a new streamlined process. Karen Kafa has a look at what they should know about applying this year.
Last year's rollout of a simplified free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, did not go according to plan.
The net effect was a frustration with the process, people abandoning the FAFSA altogether because they didn't think it was worth their time or they didn't think it would ever work.
And in some cases, glitches and delays impacted students' options as they waited for financial aid offers. Before last year, the FAFSA form traditionally opened to all students on October 1st. But the Department of Education made a phased release of the FAFSA for this year amid continued beta testing. Now the form is open to all, and students are advised to start sooner rather than later. Jill Dijon, Senior Policy Analyst at the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators, says filing deadlines will vary among schools and scholarships.
Know what your deadlines are and make sure you're meeting them, but they will be different for every student depending on where they're applying to school and where they're from.
To get things going, students need an FSA ID, an account username and password for the FAFSA site, and applicants and their families should gather any tax, banking, and investment documents. Student aid experts hope the process will be more efficient and less frustrating this year.
What we're hoping to see this year is that full realization of what the FAFSA Simplification Act intended to do, which was to make this application shorter and easier to complete.
Here in Texas, you need to complete the FAFSA application by February 15th to meet the state priority deadline. And here at UNT, the application should be turned in by March 1st to be considered for all forms of financial aid.
If you're graduating next month, the time is running out to get your regalia for the commencement ceremony. The Barnes & Noble bookstore on campus will sell caps and gowns through tomorrow. The university urges you to act fast because availability is limited as we get closer to the deadline. Fall commencement ceremonies begin December 13th, just over 3 weeks from today.
I know I begged for the cold, but is it crazy that I miss summer already?
She'll be back soon, but the first day of winter is exactly a month away. So with our jackets in mind, let's pass it over to Aaron Erie.
I am missing that summer weather myself, Andy, and Cleopatra, I did bring my jacket into the station this afternoon. Currently in Denton, it's 63 degrees, but it feels more like 62. As we move into the evening, just after the sun sets, it will cool off and it'll be 52 degrees, but it'll feel more like 51. When the sun comes back out tomorrow, it'll be warmest at 63 degrees and it'll feel the same. That's all I have for First Look. Back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Denton police arrested a Fort Worth man in connection to a fentanyl-related death earlier this year. 27-year-old King Kilbrew Stevens is accused of supplying the fentanyl that killed another man. Tyler Belvin Stafford died on July 25th. Kilbrew Stevens was arrested on Tuesday after detectives traced the pills that killed Belvin Stafford back to him. This is the third fentanyl-related murder arrest in Denton this year, and the sixth since the state passed a law that makes supplying fentanyl leading to a death criminal offense. But there is some unexpected good news in the fight against fentanyl nationwide. The Drug Enforcement Administration says less potent pills may be driving down the number of overdose deaths. The agency says that about 5 of every 10 fentanyl pills tested this year had lethal doses of opioid painkiller. That's down from about 7 of 10 pills last year. Meanwhile, federal data shows overdose deaths dropped nearly 15% for the year ending in June. Experts warn, though, that fentanyl is commonly used in powder form too, which can be deadly even in small doses.
There is yet another E. coli outbreak that should have Americans checking their fridges. This time, it's a large supply of ground beef. The tainted meat was shipped to restaurants nationwide from Wolverine Packaging Company. Since the beginning of November, 15 people in Minnesota reported feeling sick after eating the ground beef. Impacted items could have been fresh or frozen and may still be in restaurant freezers or refrigerators. If you have beef from Wolverine Packaging Company, it should be thrown away immediately. And it's not just meat that could have you sick. Vegetables that were sold at grocery stores are also tainted with E. coli. This outbreak is connected to bagged organic carrots sold under brand names like Bunny Love. They were sold at major retailers like Walmart, Target, and Kroger. The outbreak has led to at least one death and dozens of illnesses. So far, only one of those cases is confirmed to be in Texas.
Still to come, Texas prepares to take some severe new steps on immigration ahead of Donald Trump's inauguration.
And a restaurant just blocks from UNT is cooking up some kindness just in time for Thanksgiving.
Are you looking for a fun club with travel opportunities? Dive into the UNT Swim Club. Practicing Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Pole Recreation Center. We accept members at any skill level. For more information, reach out to us at unt.swimclub on Instagram.
The state of Texas is offering land for President-elect Donald Trump's deportation plans. The commissioner of the Texas General Land Office is offering 1,400 acres to potentially build deportation facilities. The state recently acquired the land in Starr County, along the border. A letter to Trump outlines a plan to build a facility for processing detention and coordination of the largest deportation of violent criminals in the nation's history. Donald Trump has promised mass deportations of undocumented immigrants when he takes office again in January. And Texas is taking another step to prevent illegal border crossings, including one that is at odds with the Biden administration. The state started putting more floating barriers in the Rio Grande. The Biden White House is currently suing the state, saying it does not have the authority to install those barriers. A judge has allowed them to stay in the river while the legal fight plays out. It's not clear how many more the state of Texas is adding.
The Denton County burn ban was officially lifted this week. That's according to County Judge Andy Eads. The ban was put in place at the end of last month due to high fire risk caused by an extended drought. This means you can now have a campfire, grill out with charcoal, and even light up that toasty chimney. But even though the ban has been lifted, officials urge caution because Denton County area is still very dry.
My fingers are still defrosting from the walk over here this morning. I need a hot cup of tea.
I made sure to grab my thick gloves and warm socks. Tea sounds nice, but a hot cup of cocoa and the fireplace sounds even better. Let's take it over to Aaron Erie.
Andy, we can spread the love and the hot cocoa across North Texas because it's a little bit, we're sticking to the sweet 60s this afternoon across North Texas. We're going to be warmest in Fort Worth at 68 degrees, but it will be coolest in Paris at 62. The rest of the region is going to be somewhere in that area. As we move across the state, we get a little bit more variety. Oklahoma City is going to be very chilly at 56 degrees, But down south, Houston and Austin, Austin's at 72 right now, but Houston's still in the 60s at 69. Then as we take a look at our 7-day forecast, you can see we've got clear skies through the weekend. It'll be warmest on the weekend on Sunday at 80 degrees with a low of 60. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll have clouds intermittently throughout the weekend. With the clouds, it'll be warmest on Wednesday at 71 and a low of 48. And then Thursday, we drop off with real cool temperatures with a high of 59 and a low of 35. That's all I have for weather. Now back to you both at the desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It is time to start thinking about what we will be eating on Thanksgiving, but some people won't have the chance to gather around a table with their families. That's where a local restaurant is stepping up to help out.
U.S. voters have spoken, and whether your candidate won or not, the holidays are happening.
Thanksgiving is all about getting together with loved ones and sharing a meal. But sadly, many people don't get to spend the holidays like this. Thankfully, there is a restaurant willing to help. Just off of Scripture Street, you will find Mr. Chopsticks, a Chinese cuisine restaurant providing free food for those who can't afford it this upcoming Thanksgiving.
My name is Chai, okay? I'm the owner of the Mr. Chopsticks. And we've been doing this for 39 years now. The reason I want to give out some food because I feel like, it's nice to, it's Thanksgiving, so it's nice to, to give back something to the community.
The restaurant will have its drive-thru open from 12 to 2 p.m. and will offer a variety of different food to help satisfy everyone.
We're going to be making some chicken fried rice to give out and make veggie fried rice for those who don't eat meat, so that way they have the choice. But that's all we're going to be making, the chicken fried rice, all veggie fried rice.
Mr. Chai and his workers truly want to help people out on Thanksgiving and make sure everyone can happily celebrate the holidays.
I guess seeing an uptick in the homeless population and such, he's trying to give back to the community. Everyone needs food. It's a pretty simple concept. And, he's given out chicken fried rice and tofu fried rice. I would say that chicken fried rice is the top selling item here as one of his employees. So if you're seeing this and you're someone who's in need, someone who's hungry and might not be able to afford a meal on Thanksgiving, come on over.
Mr. Chai urges people to help spread the word as much as possible, so make sure to lend a helping hand and get the word out.
And, I think there were some people who want to help out. I'm going to ask them, I'm going to let them know. There are some people want to give me the money, but I don't want the money. But if they want to help, you can, bring some bottled waters, things like that, so we can pass them out too,
His actions this holiday season is a true act of kindness and will truly help the community of Denton this upcoming week. With North Texas Television, I'm Adisa Bender.
It's hard to believe we're just 1 week away from Thanksgiving. The holiday may be complicated for some families because of politics.
Many people still feel stressed after the presidential election earlier this week. Now they'll be gathering with relatives who may have voted differently. CNN's Mandy Gaither has tips from a psychiatrist on how to stop politics from ruining your holiday.
U.S. voters have spoken, and whether your candidate won or not, the holidays are happening.
If you know that there are differences amongst family members or you're worried about these tough conversations coming up, I think it's really important to be able to have a conversation in advance.
Psychiatrist Dr. Nicole Tarui with El Camino Health says after an emotional election, Americans need quality time with loved ones. So she says not to let politics stop you from getting together.
There's a deep brain structure called the amygdala that's responsible for fear and anxiety. When the amygdala is operating, we're often flooded with really intense emotions, and it's very hard to have productive and calm conversations.
That's why Tarui says to set expectations before the gathering, decide which topics are off limits, and focus on the holiday, not on politics.
If we can really set the intention that the holidays are really about that, it can make a very big difference.
Sometimes it can be hard to steer clear of big topics, so Tarui says not to avoid tough conversations. Instead, Remember your shared values and consider listening. It may deepen your understanding of a loved one's beliefs. And if things get too contentious, it's okay to take a break.
I really recommend having just a one-liner to be able to diffuse these difficult conversations if it gets to a contentious point. An example of something you might be able to say is, I really respect your opinion on this matter, and we're going to have to agree to disagree.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Coming up, we'll take you on a hunt for beloved animals that are easy to spot but hard to catch here at UNT.
And as a highly anticipated movie musical heads to theaters, we'll show you why some fans are being warned to keep their mouths shut.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
They are fearsome, furry, and totally fantastic. Here at UNT, you can always find a creature on the hunt for an acorn. Segment anchor Madeline McCrory has a story on UNT's favorite animal friends.
Thanks, Andy. If you walked to class this week, chances are you came face to face with one of the furry creatures on campus. Some people aren't fans of them, but I love them. ntTV's Edison Stewart and Annie Tomlin had the chance to film around campus for what they call the ntTV Squirrel Special.
With the holiday season fast approaching, Christmas trees are popping up all over campus, but our focus is on the real trees, or more specifically, our furry friends that call them home.
Yeah, they're definitely a very fun part of campus.
Really cute, and I love seeing them on the way to class. So.
UNT is a very biodiverse campus with many different plants and small animals, but it's especially known among students for the unique squirrel population. One user on UNT Yik Yak even joked that the squirrels were the only thing getting them through the semester. ntTV caught up with a few students to get their thoughts on our infamous campus critters.
Well, I see the squirrels all the time. They are definitely a prime part of campus. Almost every single day I see them passing class. I've seen them attack each other a couple times.
They're a bit random, for sure. They walk around everywhere. I mean, they walk around the cars. I mean, you remember Lucky? Yeah. He actually got ran over.
Lucky, a beloved campus squirrel famous for being albino. According to local legend, if you spot him during exam season, you'll ace your test, rightfully giving Lucky his nickname. There's been many different Lucky the Squirrels throughout the years, but sadly one was fatally hit by a car in 2016. He can be seen on display in UNT's Environmental Science Building, where we had the chance to take a deeper look.
So we do have the albino squirrels on campus, and we have historically had a Lucky on campus. There's been several that have been hit by a car like this one, and we were able to preserve it. There are others that we've had pictures of, and then we won't see them for a while.
Dr. Baxter Sly also warns about the dangers of feeding the campus squirrels. She states that harmful toxins can be passed along to the squirrels from human hands, and students feeding them can make them overly comfortable with taking food from people. So although it's best not to feed the squirrels your leftover lunch, you can still admire them for being a vital part of the Mean Green family.
With finals on the way, make sure to keep an eye out for Lucky the Squirrel. That's all for me. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Madeline. With Thanksgiving coming up next week, the tradition of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is about to continue. CNN's Anthony Carlo has the preview of this year's parade, including the new floats and all the work that goes into them.
To be iconic is to be larger than life.
What we're trying to do is make the parade bigger and better than ever each year.
To be in charge of these massive floats, you have to know what the people are talking about. And that means spending more than 100 hours to bring Wednesday Addams to life.
We worked with our friends at Netflix to tell Wednesday's story of the parade, and what she's doing is playing a little joke on her little brother Pugsley and sending him down the route on a sheet pan of rotten vegetables.
7 of the more than 20 floats are new and will debut on the parade route this year. Minnie Mouse dances atop Magic Meets the Seas by Disney Cruise Line.
This float is going to feature a performance by Captain Minnie and a bunch of her friends from Disney.
On the Bronx Zoo's float, each animal is designed to be life-size. Those who've kicked it all into gear, everyone from engineers to carpenters, working for months in this warehouse leading up to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Creative director Brendan Kennedy wants to leave a mark with each float.
We're looking to tell a fun, family-friendly, festive story easily and quickly, because we only have a few moments. You know, they're shuffling down the road.
The attention to detail is something. For example, this Rayo's Pasta Night float, if you take a look around the float, you'll see a menacing dragon. But look a little closer. You'll notice its claws are designed to look like macaroni.
We created a story of a knight fighting a fire-breathing dragon that's made out of lasagna and pasta, and he's riding a rigatoni pony. And it's those attention to detail that I think are so important and what really make the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade so special.
So special, they're already working on next year's floats.
You can see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade starting at 8:30 a.m. 1 week from today on NBC.
If you are looking forward to belting out to Defying Gravity while watching Wicked, you better think again. AMC Theaters says the best way to remain popular is to remain quiet. The movie chain will reportedly play a 30-second advisory before the film, reminding moviegoers that silence is golden. According to the ad, that includes no singing, however, fans will be able to channel their inner Elphaba and Glinda next month. That's when sing-along screenings of Wicked will be offered in about 1,000 theaters starting on Christmas Day. Part 1 of the film hits theaters on Friday, and Part 2 will open next November.
Pink versus Green isn't the only major competition happening this week.
If you're not feeling Wicked but feeling like a baller, Marvin Diaz-Vela is here with a look on more NBA action.
Thanks for the assist, you two. A great time to listen to Curtis Blow, because when we come back, we're talking basketball. Are the Mavs in danger without Luka Doncic? Plus, Russell Westbrook adds onto his Hall of Fame application. And an early NBA season cup update. All coming up next.
Looking to open a free checking or savings account but don't know where to start? Check out DATQ Credit Union right here on campus. Get your Mean Green debit card instantly or apply for a DATQ Visa credit card today. Your school, your card. Plus, make deposits at their 24/7 ATM, checks or cash whenever you need it. Make sure to sign up for DATQ's online banking platform and mobile app for easy access anytime, anywhere. Visit them at www.datq.org to learn more. DATQ, the official financial institution of UNT Athletics.
A wrist injury will sideline Luka Doncic for at least 1 week, according to Sports Illustrated. The injury happened during the first quarter of the Mavericks season cup game against New Orleans Pelicans on Tuesday. Luka played through the pain and was able to put up 26 points with 3 steals plus a block to secure the victory. Dallas will be missing Luka for the upcoming games against the Nuggets, Heat, Hawks, Knicks, and Jazz. Although it is a low note for the star player decreasing his chances for an MVP trophy, it is most definitely a high note for Mavs reserve players like Jaden Hardy and Spencer Dinwiddie to gain more minutes. Yesterday, Russell Westbrook became the first player in NBA history to obtain 200 triple-doubles. Westbrook being at 200 now creates a 19 difference gap between himself and Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson. As for active players, Westbrook's teammate Nikola Jokic needs 64 triple-doubles to tie the record. Russ finished last night's game against the Grizzlies with 12 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds as Westbrook nears retirement at the age of 36. There is no doubt he is a future Hall of Famer. The NBA season cup started on November 12th. While still early into the tournament, here are a few points worth mentioning. The Detroit Pistons are 2-0 after defeating the Miami Heat and Toronto Raptors. Remember, this is the team that went 14-68 last season. So far, this year they are 7-9. What an upgrade they've been going through this season with Cade Cunningham leading the team. The Golden State Warriors continue to go full throttle this season by maintaining an above 500 record and now 2-0 season cup record. Regardless of Klay Thompson's departure, are the Warriors bringing us back to their dynasty days? I hope not, really. But lastly, the Los Angeles Lakers, defending the season cup champions, are also 2-0 in cup games. It is safe to say that Dalton Knecht is the biggest steal in this year's rookie class. Knecht's recent game was against the Jazz, putting up 37 points. Knecht tied an NBA record for rookies by making 9 3-pointers in a single game. So what's the early prediction to win it all? Personally, it would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's all I have. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Marvin. In perfect timing for the holidays, today is National Gingerbread Cookie Day. Many people celebrate this fun holiday by baking gingerbread or making gingerbread houses. This sweet treat has been around for centuries, dating back to at least the year of 972 AD. Gingerbread houses kits can be found at almost all grocery stores.
I don't know if the gingerbread man from Shrek is going to be too happy about that last story, but I'm still going to enjoy making that gingerbread house this Christmas.
And I'll have my cookies and milk on the side to be mindful.
Thank you for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.